Hey, what's going on everybody? Rob, aka Robbie Diesel here with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at some awesome new tech that I just picked up. Really excited to talk about it because it's one of those things that after you go through a little bit of growth, you realize some of the tech that you've been using may not cut it anymore, right? Now, I'm not a super big tech snob by any means, but there was a video that I did a little while ago. It's talking about a pair of Air Jordans, and somebody, an eagle-eyed, eagle-eared, I guess, viewer noticed that you could hear the wind sounds in the back of my video. And I noticed that was fairly common, and it's something that's kind of kept me from recording videos in my office most days. So this video in particular, I figure would be a really awesome time for me to check out this brand new Hollyland Lark M1 wireless microphone system. So I initially picked up this mic system because I was headed to Motor City Comic Con, which was a couple of weekends ago in Novi. If you know anything about me, you know that's one of my most favorite Comic Cons ever in the history of the world, and I was super primed and ready to roll, but as fate would have it, I came down with like one of the nastiest colds slash respiratory illnesses I can remember in a super long time. And it's not the first time that that's happened to me at Motor City. Be that as it may, I got super sick and I could not walk around the Comic Con because your boy was just too tired, too feverish, too lethargic to do anything, and I didn't get to test it out. So instead of just sitting on content or not doing it, I decided I would just do it at home. And I'm doing a little bit of control to my experiment here. I am sitting in my bedroom, not in the office. I have a window to my rear and then I guess ahead of me. This is in front of me, and then a window to my rear. Both of them are open so we can catch some background noises, and we're gonna see exactly how good these microphones are. So I'm currently talking to you by way of a Audio Technica boom mic that I've had for, my God, years and years, probably since like I first initially started my YouTube journey, and it served me well, and it continues to serve me well. Like realistically, if I'm just out and about, or if I just need to shoot a video real quick, there's nothing better than just slapping this mic on and recording. The audio tends to be pretty good, but as I mentioned earlier, there are certain things, certain limitations of this mic style, one of which being the microphone itself has to be tethered to the camera, which means distance-wise, I can't really get very far away from the microphone without the audio dropping off. Case in point, if I were to stand up, as I'm going to do, and if I walk to the other side of the room, the audio just drops right out, right? Not completely, but you probably can't hear me as well as you can whenever I am sitting right up on the microphone. So this wireless mic is going to help improve that scenario in particular, but also audio quality. There's some noise cancellation features in there as well that would come in handy, especially again in situations where I'm doing an interview at Comic Con, or if I'm just somewhere where the wind is blowing. So without further ado, let's check out the Hollyland Lark M1 wireless mic. Alright, so for starters, the mic and the receiver itself come in this really dope, really handy carrying case. I love it because it's got kind of a canvasy feel to it, right? It feels very durable. It's got a little clip, like a clip for a carabiner or just to attach to a bag or something like that. Feels super durable, super rugged. I don't feel like if I just sit it in my gear bag, it's gonna get crushed right away, which is super awesome. On the inside, there's little cutouts for both the microphone and for the receiver itself. And then there's this little separator here, which is super dope. Keeps the cables from crushing into the mics and vice versa. On the inside, you have a couple of different cable types. They included two USB Type-C cables for recharging both the microphone itself and the receiver. Now these are USB-A to USB-C, so you'll definitely need to be charging these from a desktop computer, laptop computer, power bank, something of that nature, because USB-A to USB-C is what's included. I did test it out and they do seem to charge using a USB-C to USB-C adapter, but of course, you know, voltage, ampage, and all that fun stuff. You don't want to blow out the battery, so use the included chargers unless otherwise instructed, eh? Now you also get this 3.5mm to 3.5mm adapter for plugging this into a digital camera like what I'm recording. I'm recording on a Canon DSLR, but you also have an additional 3.5 to 3.5 adapter. The tip on this one is gray to signify that this is to be used for smartphones. So if you're one of the lucky few who still has a smartphone with a 3.5mm headset jack, that is what this adapter is for. Now, I personally am using a smartphone that does not have a 3.5mm headphone jack, so I ended up having to drop an extra 10 bucks for this 3.5mm to USB-C adapter to plug into my Pixel phone. iPhone users would have to do the same thing. Either you're gonna spring for the USB-C adapter if you have a newer iPhone, or of course the 3.5 to Lightning adapter if you were using a previous iPhone model. 10 bucks, well worth the money. And then you also, on the inside, get this handy little windscreen here. It's just a little fuzz ball. I don't know how often I would end up using this because honestly, it doesn't seem to be very well made, particularly. But there is this kind of hard set silicone holder right on the inside there that'll clip right over the top of the mic. I like that it's a harder, firmer silicone instead of like the softer type, because it doesn't seem that it's going to stretch out over time, which is good if you're going to be using this out in the field. You definitely want something that's going to last, at least hold its shape. But again, these little fuzzies here, like I just pulled several off just doing that. So you may need something a little better made, I guess. Now, the main stars of the show is this Hollyland M1 microphone. This is the mic itself that would clip onto your shirt, or you can actually, I see a lot of influencers, they just kind of hold it up and talk like this, which we're going to test that out once we actually get going into the review here. And we're also going to do this two different ways. So I'm going to initially do this review with my Audio-Technica mic, my shotgun mic on my camera, and then the second half of the video will be recorded specifically with the Hollyland, with the Lark M1. Now this guy is the receiver here. This is what would attach to your smartphone or to your DSLR camera, and this is where most of the magic happens. Now, in reading the instructions for this device, it operates in two different modes. You can operate in mono audio mode, or you can operate in stereo. One of the biggest things that I like about my Audio-Technica mic is that it is very, very simple to switch between the two modes. In my initial testing of this microphone in particular, and you'll see it once we actually get it on, I couldn't really tell a big difference in the mono and stereo mode. So I don't know if maybe that's just a glitch with the unit that I have, or maybe just a defect in this device in particular. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a pause for the cause, and we're gonna get this guy switched on, and we're gonna switch to the M1 for audio. All right, so we now have the Lark M1 clipped to my shirt collar here. In this mode, the single blue light that you may be able to see is supposed to be mono audio mode. So I don't know if you really hear how it sounds kind of drowned out. Maybe it's not picking up as much. Maybe it's not as loud or as clear, or maybe it sounds perfectly fine. I don't know. I am gonna mess with it just a little bit here. I'm gonna take it off of my collar, and I'm actually going to hold it to see if this makes a difference, because I have watched a couple of reviews of this microphone specifically, and a couple of the reviewers did mention that it sounds a little bit better just holding it right out in front of you. So this also operates in a secondary mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press, there's a side button, that little yellow button there. I'm going to press this button in, and now the indicator has switched to green. And when the indicator is green here, and I should be able to press and hold here. Okay. So now I have a green indicator both on the receiver and on the microphone. Now the green is supposed to indicate stereo mode, but again, in my initial testing, it seemed like the lights were opposite. So I don't know if it sounds stereo, if I move this around, if it sounds any better. I am also going to reclip this guy to my collar just to test out what I was talking about earlier too. So now with a wireless microphone, if I get up and I move around and I walk away, the audio shouldn't really change because it's coming from the same source. So no matter where I happen to be at, whether I'm in camera view or if I were to step completely out of camera view, the audio should remain the same. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I'll let you guys be the judge of that. And I actually am going to leave this exactly how it is, and I won't find out exactly how the audio sounds until I'm editing this guy. So hopefully it's a solid microphone. Hopefully it works pretty good. If it doesn't work pretty good, I guess I'll be overly joyed that I got sick and wasn't able to test it out at Comic-Con, because I would be disastrously disappointed if it doesn't work out to my expectations. But all in all, this is still a pretty incredible value. So I actually ended up getting the single microphone model from Amazon. It was like 60 bucks, not too crazy at all, but there is a dual mic model as well, and it actually comes with a wireless charging kit as well. So there's a good possibility that if this thing ends up working out good for me, I may just upgrade to the dual model. All right, but for right now, I just switched back into the blue light mode, which is apparently mono, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You guys let me know what you thought of the audio from the Hollyland Lark M1 wireless microphone. Let me know if I'm using this boy wrong. I am a gadget nerd for sure, but I'm not perfect either. So if you have this microphone and you got some tips and tricks for me, please make sure to drop it down in the comments below. Also, make sure, if you haven't done so just yet, subscribe to the channel. Look down below. If that subscribe button is very bright and red and robust and it's just screaming at you, click on it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and then hit the little bell icon next to it. That means you're turning on notifications, so you'll get a little notification, a little ringy ding each and every single time that I upload, which there's stuff all over the place. If you're new to this channel, you probably were sucked in from that mushroom coffee review. Welcome aboard. I do tons of reviews, so it's not just coffee all the time. We do food, we do gadgets, we do sneakers, we do Comic Cons. There's something for everybody on this channel, so that's why it's important. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon and turn on notifications, and of course, as always, if you liked this video or any other video that you're watching, make sure hit that like button. Smash that thumbs up. Let me know what you're thinking. I appreciate you guys checking this one out. I am Rob, aka Robbie Diesel, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.